Well, okay, we're back live on YouTube. All 0 people watching us on YouTube.
Derek, so are you in Des Moines for good now? Or are you ever going back to Lake Show?
So
we're in Ames actually right now.
Oh.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is just save this.
Okay.
Right.
I think the podcast has to know about the computer crash.
We will.
So we'll jump right into that.
God, all this other bullshit is loading, and it's stop.
Guy, did you get the photos?
Let me check. Come on. Oh, here we go.
She actually might be Iranian, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, she's got a hint.
She looks exactly like Dulce.
No. Well, kind of.
Yeah, she does.
Okay, I like the second.
Oh.
I like the second pick a lot.
Jared, you showed me her once.
I did?
Yes, you did. You absolutely showed me her once.
Oh, because she ghosted. Well, I thought that I actually thought that she ghosted me, but then I looked back into my message. I sent her my wrong phone number. I sent her a 713 number.
Oh, so that was the girl you thought ghosted you.
That's the one who I thought ghosted me. There was another one who actually did.
Oh, you might have told me the one that ghosted you.
I said intro before crash.
You like the second one, Gunner?
No, I thought the second pick she looked really nice, and the first one she's cute.
Yeah, thank you. I hope that's how she actually looks. You know, not that those aren't just like good photos.
Right.
Okay. So I got that saved. I'll reopen it up. Then we should be good to.
Okay.
I kind of need a little bit of help too. What's your guys? So she lives in West Seattle.
Yep.
She, because Bumble says she's 1 mile away, and then like we were making like logistical plans. She's like, well, do you want to just go out in West Seattle or downtown? I'm like, how about let's go downtown, like to Capitol Hill, where like there's some really cool breweries.
Yeah.
Like, do I just drive, or do we like get an Uber?
Uber.
How far is it from your place?
Downtown. I mean, I could get to downtown in like 6 minutes.
I would go pick her up and then Uber from your place.
Pick her up.
I feel like
I just don't want our first like moments to be in the back seat of an awkward Uber drive. You know.
Fair.
That's why you should pick her up.
But she lives probably. You're saying like with my car, or just like go to her place?
With your car, go pick her up and then Uber from your place.
Jared, rent a motorcycle and pick her up on a motorcycle.
Ooh, that'd be
cool.
cool.
But the thing is, she probably lives like walking distance from me.
Jared, you ready?
Really? Then have her just walk over. Screw that.
Okay.
You guys ready to start up again?
What was the last thing that we were?
No, we're gonna talk about the crash.
We'll just roll from it, okay?
Just go.
Yeah.
All right, we are back on the program after a glitch in the 21st Finance Software Department. My IT group did not get my computer ready.
Is that Derek's job?
That is definitely Derek's job.
No, I have a theory on what happened.
What happened?
Too many viewers.
Yep. It just crashed.
The whole system crashed. YouTube couldn't handle the amount. YouTube's because this is on YouTube, right?
Yep, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So their film crew that they sent to, that's how YouTube works, right? They couldn't handle this many viewers.
We filled the server, man.
Right.
It's just annoying having to start over. This computer is such a piece of junk. I think it's time for me to get something new.
Okay, Jeff, I'm gonna have to.
Can you start? Can you start a GoFundMe? 21st Finance GoFundMe new computer.
That would be.
I'm sorry.
Eric's trying to FaceTime me right now. No.
Tell him to stop. Jeff, I have to call you out on your whole calling your computer a piece of junk. All throughout college, you said, "God, this computer's such a freaking beast." You love that thing.
You did.
That was also like 4 years ago now, though. I thought
you're not that old.
Okay, yeah, I guess you're right. Dude, I do feel really old some days. I don't know. It is time to get something new, though. I know I'm not going to get a Mac, but I should get like a Samsung computer or something. I don't know how to run a Mac, though. That's the problem.
It's so easy. That's the beauty. That's the beauty of Apple products. They're so easy to use.
Jared,
if you had an iPhone for a week, you would change your mind.
I'm actually okay. Good note for you guys. I got my work phone ordered, Jared.
Yep.
I'm getting an iPhone 7 for work. So
that's funny because I have an iPhone, but my work phone is S8.
Really?
Yeah, we're kind of yin and yang there.
Huh. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah. So I mean, I'll get to try out an iPhone for a while, so then I can get back to you guys.
Smooth segue. Did you guys see Apple's worth $1 trillion?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
That's impressive.
I did. That is, yeah.
Gunnar,
really
Gunnar, you
impressive.
sent me that link, and maybe Jeff 21st Finance can tweet it out because it's a really cool link. It was a tweet that takes you to this other website that it gives you like a reference or idea of what other companies you would have to combine to make a market cap of $1 trillion, and it's just insane.
Yeah, so it shows like all of GM, you would have to combine GM, Ford, all of the car companies, and then like Johnson and Johnson to like equal Apple's value. And I mean, you can play around and like you can hit reset or new companies, and you'll get like 15 bubbles, and you're like, wow, that's a huge company, or like, and then they throw them all together, and like that's what it takes to equal Apple. It's really cool.
Right.
Yeah, I'll send you that link, Jeff.
And I know Boeing was one of the companies in there, and I think Boeing's right around 200 billion.
Yeah.
So it would take, and Boeing's the world's largest aerospace company. It would take 5 Boeings to make one Apple, which that just absolutely blows my mind.
And your products are so much more expensive compared to what Apple's doing.
Here's my question for you guys on the whole like market cap thing. Okay, so by market cap, yes, Apple's the most valuable company in the world. Do you honestly think, though, like what they do for society as a whole, they are the actual most valuable company in the world? If that makes sense.
So not monetary value.
Like actual like value to society as a whole. I don't think they are the most valuable company to society as a whole. I don't think any electronics company would be the most valuable to society as a whole.
So what would your choice be?
I mean, it'd probably be like
the Chicago Board and Trade.
That would be a big one. I mean, I know like something like that, or like a healthcare company, or I don't know. I think cell phones are huge, but I still feel like, I mean, any automotive company is more valuable to society than cell phones. I still think cars are more valuable than cell phones today. Personally, that's just my opinion. But
I mean, a lot of people, like to counter maybe the devil's advocate, a lot of people don't have cars, but like you see a homeless man and he's got an iPhone in his pocket. Like it seems like everyone's got a damn iPhone these days, you know?
Have you met homeless men in Seattle, like with iPhones or what?
Yeah, I'm really trying to put myself out there and, meet a lot of homeless men, but no, I haven't.
Yeah. Tim's a great guy.
You know what? Can I stop you guys for a second? I just looked at Gunner's phone and he had a text message from Eric that said, "Oh, I wanted to call and I'll just screw off." I literally texted Eric. I put it on my Snapchat. I put it on my Twitter. Call my cell phone number, which we have done the last couple of times. And Eric is too stupid to realize to call my number.
I mean, he is.
Oh my gosh!
Put him on blast. Why don't you?
Jesus, Eric, call my cell phone number.
You'll have that.
Oh,
that's on him. Jared, what else you got for us?
I would to answer your question, I would say Apple's definitely up there. It kind of comes like with the access to information. So it gives people, they use it to access information. We use it. It's probably the one device that we are probably most in contact with as humans throughout the day. Probably correct.
Yeah, I mean, I look at my iPhone more than anything else.
Right.
And that is how I connect to people now.
Right.
I would say in today's society, Apple is definitely up there.
To me, in my mind, it's either Apple or it's Google. It's like kind of along the lines of access to information. Like
what about
anything
Microsoft?
Anything I want to know, I Google it. I look it up. I use their weather. I use their maps. I use their services. Like everything kind of tied to Google as well. So,
do you remember when we had that question I asked you guys? Maybe, I don't know, it's probably like 5-6 months ago. Like, if you only had 3 websites forever, like which ones did you pick? And I said Google, and I got kind of roasted. But I feel like what you just said right there kind of proved the usefulness of Google, I guess.
Everyone, yeah, but Jeff, that wasn't our argument against it. You said what are 3 or 5 websites that you can that only you can use for the rest of your life, and you picked Google, which is kind of a cop out because then you could access every website. That's why people got mad at you, Jeff.
What were your guys' 3 websites? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
No.
Okay.
Red too.
Hi, Derek.
Derek. Yeah. Okay. So what else you got going for us this week, Jer? What else?
Well, I wanted to get your guys, because we're kind of talking stock market and stuff. One other, like, did you see Elon tweeted out that he might be taking Tesla private if shares reach like 400 and some change dollars per share?
Yeah, no, I did see that.
Stock prices went up 11% in one day.
Really?
Why is Eric so mad about that?
I'm not sure. Eric gets in a tizzy about Elon and everything. I don't know. I think Eric thinks Elon's an idiot, which he very well might be.
Right. So, okay, when you're valuating a company, like you're trying to evaluate a stock, Tesla is very hard because a lot of it is, and I'll agree with Eric, like a lot of it is speculative, and like Elon hypes it up quite a bit. He knows exactly how to get people more interested than they already are.
Right.
And so he drives up the stock price. So it's hard to evaluate what Tesla is worth. I agree with him on that. But what is the problem with Elon going private?
So I don't know what Eric's really doing, but
maybe we should have Eric call in.
I'm sure he would give us a great answer, but I just think it's just crazy because Tesla is the highest valued U.S. car manufacturer. They're valued at higher than Ford, higher than GM, even though they sell like 1/100th of the cars that GM or Ford ever do or produce that many. So it's just crazy. Like just to put it in perspective, like what if tomorrow Apple went up 10% or GM went up? Like that's big news. Like, and Tesla did that. They went up 11% in one day just because of one man's tweet, which is crazy. That's absolutely crazy. That like the amount of, and I think Eric might be mad and maybe questioning if it's like market manipulation in a way.
Sure.
If he sends you in, can you answer it?
No, that makes sense. But yeah, no, it's definitely crazy.
Yeah, so I just messaged Eric, and I kept telling Eric, like, call my number. And Eric can't call my number because his phone is broke, apparently.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's using an iPhone 5 right now or something. His phone broke and he got issued an iPhone 5.
How'd his phone break?
I'm not sure.
I think it was the same thing that happened to me.
Yeah. Okay, since we're on, so to get into 3 Angry Men, I don't know, 3.5, is Derek still there?
He's playing Fortnite.
Okay, 3.5 Angry Men. If we're on the topic of Eric, I have a few Eric things.
That's a good question. Why is Derek half a man, Jared?
I don't feel like he's fully invested in this right now.
No,
that's fair.
That's fair. That's fair.
Don't ever question my manhood.
All right, go on, Jared.
Can we just have a roast of Eric quick?
Yeah, sure. Let's rip.
Well, I have a couple things, and I can't remember if I brought this up on the podcast before, but I have things that Eric does that piss me off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Fair.
One of them is I lived with the guy for 4 straight years. So that means I shared a toaster with him for 4 years. And that idiot thinks that turning the knob all the way to max cooks your bread faster.
No,
it cooks
it cooks. It's a duration.
It's a duration, you idiot. So there's many times where I would always have to set it back to like 2, but then like I would forget the next day because Eric every day would turn it up to 10.
Every day. Yeah, so he's dedicated to his toast.
Then the next morning I would burn my toast every morning, and I would see that the knob is on like the surface of the sun, temperature, and like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I wanted to cook faster. I'm like, that's not how it works.
It doesn't work like that. I will agree with you 100%.
Oh my gosh, and I couldn't get it through his freaking tiny skull for 4 years.
I don't know if it's tiny. It's just thick. Like nothing enters.
You know how they used to say like cavemen used to have like really thick like foreheads, like before they like evolved into humans. I feel like Eric still got a little bit of that caveman in him. You know what I mean? He's just kind of got thick skull, big bodied. I don't know. Eric could make like a really good caveman in like prehistoric world. Right. I could see him killing like a mammoth or like a like a saber-toothed tiger with like a spear. I feel like he'd be pretty good at that.
Also a kitchen thing with Eric.
Okay.
This is maybe this is maybe less justified than the toaster thing, but I'm kind of obsessively compulsive about weird things. Eric would always, the light underneath the microwave?
Yeah.
Eric would always turn that on.
I remember you yelling about that, yeah.
And yeah, a lot of people are like, when I tell people this, they're like, Jared, you're kind of a lunatic, like, give the guy a break. But I'm sorry. He like always turn that light on, and for some reason, and he would always leave it on, and that would make me mad. But it would just make me mad that he turned that light on when he was cooking.
Is it really needed?
Is it really that necessary? Like, you can't see your food? Like, I get it, he's tall, but he's not that damn tall. He's not up in the stratosphere where he can't see his damn chicken breast cooking. We have ceiling lights right above the stove.
I'm gonna defend Eric on that one. I do that every single time I cook too. I always turn that little light on all the time.
I can't stand the microwave light.
I hate the way Eric cooks chicken. He like ruins chicken.
See, I'm actually going to take Eric's side on this because I actually love Eric's chicken.
I could make my chicken breast that I make is 10 times better.
Your chicken is so covered in salt and slap your mama's.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Give me some of that seasoning.
Well, no, Eric uses 10 times the amount of oil that is needed.
Olive oil.
He just dumps olive oil in there for no reason.
Then he makes 7 cups of rice and puts like 4 gallons of Worcestershire sweet and sour sauce, and then eats it all in one sitting. Worcestershire sauce.
Whatever. Jared, what else is making you mad, man? I feel like you just got a lot pent up in you right now.
Okay, so you know how we were talking about, you guys were talking about intermittent fasting.
Yep.
Right, so I kind of learned about that through Rogan, and I don't do it right now. But Rogan also talks about like the health benefits from being in a sauna.
Yeah.
Like, he's a big sauna guy, and my gym has a sauna. I was like, huh. You know, Rogan's just like 20 minutes a day, you know, maybe 3 times a week, like helps your red blood cell count, white blood cell count, like your energy and all this. I'm like, oh, well, I might go check out the sauna.
Yeah.
I go in there, and all I see is nut sacks.
Just flopping.
Just like old nut sacks, like World War II veterans.
And they're spread out like they do not care.
Like, does that happen to all of our balls when we get that old?
God.
I think so, man.
Oh my gosh. I was in there, you know, for 30 seconds, and I couldn't, like, my eyes were just you know, ruined, and I had to leave after 30 seconds.
Yeah, you were scarred.
I couldn't stand that much ball sack in one room.
Right. So, I mean, are you going to give it another shot?
So that's what pisses me off is, like, I'd love to use the sauna, but like old men, they have that place on a lockdown.
It's like the country club.
Yeah.
It's like it's only for them. Like, they locked it off. It's the club. It's the country club.
That kind of reminds me, there's like an episode of Parks and Rec, which is one of the best TV shows ever. There's this episode where Tom Haverford's like trying to like get business for something in the town of Pawnee or whatever. And like, it's so true about how many old men go to saunas, because he goes to this sauna, he like walks right in, and it's just like 6 75-year-old men just sitting there like smoking cigars. It's pretty funny. And honestly, yeah, Jared, you're so right about that.
And like, don't get me wrong, like, good for them, you know, for them to be that, you know, comfortable with themselves and just like let it all hang loose. Like, that's the dream, I think, you know.
Well, and when you're that old, you just don't care.
You don't care.
right.
Like, what do you have to lose when you're that old, you know?
Yeah.
You know, I actually wish I could live to be that old someday, but with my health I got going right now, my 3rd shift, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to make it to 75.
Jeff will never make it to the sauna country club.
No.
Right.
No, never. Probably not. But yeah, Jared, what else is making you mad?
How about this? I think I'm already outnumbered. Derek might even the score here, because I'm pretty sure I know what type of deodorant, Jeff, you use and what type of deodorant, Gunner, you use.
Yeah.
But I can't stand that white, chalky, pasty crap that you guys call deodorant. I like the solid blue, invisible solid gel. I can't stand it when that white stuff, because it gets stuck in your armpit hair.
Yep.
And the next time you take a shower and you scrub your pits, it like really is dry and itchy and pulley on your hair.
So I think it's a person by person basis, I think, because I have tried the blue, like what you're talking about, like the Old Spice or whatever you use. And I do not like it. I don't think it does a good job. I think I get better actual use of deodorant from the white pasty stuff.
Are you talking odor protection?
Odor protection, sweat protection, all of the above.
Jeff,
but there is that con of it getting stuck in your armpit hair and rubbing on your t-shirt. I will agree.
I'm glad that you at least admit that it does.
Yeah, no,
like,
there's definitely cons to it, but I just think it does a way better job of what it's built to do.
Okay, that's fair. Jeff, what do you use?
I use the white chalky stuff, but I also use the other stuff too. It's just kind of like whatever I'm feeling. My thing is, yes, the white stuff is clumpy and a little uncomfortable, but my pits smell better and sweat less
Yeah,
longer.
and Jeff, like you're definitely a guy that needs deodorant.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure the
Jeff,
white
you're
stuff
definitely
is
a
more
smelly
like
guy.
anti-perspirant, Well, the other stuff's like a deodorant where it's more so just smell. It doesn't really stop the sweating or. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you mean. That's more of just
White
like
stuff works better. I do hate the shower thing that you said though. Like when you're rubbing your pits, it like sticks. It's weird.
Oh, I can't. I'm a big like texture guy, and that kills me. I can't do it.
yeah. My thing is
Gunnar,
that
Yeah, Jared.
remember when I think I was at your place this past school year, and like we were gonna head out to the bars, and
I know what you're gonna say.
I did a little pit check, and I'm like, oh god, I could use some deodorant. And I'm like, I know what type of deodorant Gunnar has, but I'm just gonna do it. Like I'm gonna put it on
Yeah,
anyway. I'm like,
you needed to.
so I like go into your room. I'm like, Gunnar, hey, can I have some deodorant? And you're like, yeah, sure, man. It's in the kitchen cupboard right next to the sink,
No, I say it's right by the fridge.
right by the fridge. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, like like it's somebody like left it there like a couple months ago, and I just haven't moved it back.
I don't know why it made me think of this. Remember when
You
we were
keep your deodorant in your goddamn kitchen? That's so weird.
this I don't know why this made me think of this, but so a lot of listeners, everybody knows that me and Gunnar lived together this summer in the canola factory. Me and Gunnar, I think 2 weeks ago, spent like a whole day cleaning that place out. Do you remember that bag of potatoes? That was so disgusting. That was the gross.
You gotta tell him.
I want you to tell what that was because I don't know what that was.
Well, I'm not sure if I know what it was. So last August, a full year ago, I was getting on the health kick. I still eat decently healthy, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get some sweet potatoes. And I bought a bag of sweet potatoes. I put them in a cupboard all by themselves, and I completely forgot about them.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh,
And then
no.
Jeff and I are cleaning out the apartment, and he opens this. Gunnar, what the fuck?
It was a mixture of like Satan's butthole with mold with like it looked like if I don't know if you could ever picture the smell of death and look at death, whatever that little black pile of goop was left by the potatoes. And they were stuck. The potatoes were stuck to the thing. And it was just the grossest thing ever, dude. There were so many gross things about that place when we cleaned it out.
And Jeff manned up and cleaned it. He didn't even make me clean it.
That? Why
I don't
would
know.
you clean that?
Because I don't know, it's kind of funny, honestly. I like doing stuff that's funny. It was funny. It smelled terrible.
Well, you puked in the sink afterwards.
Oh yeah, that was terrible.
Like that is 100% Gunnar's responsibility.
100%. I'm not even denying that.
Yeah, it was absolutely terrible. But then another thing that got me too is when we moved the couch, we were like vacuuming. I don't know how many little like snus packets and like used dip pouches I picked up off the floor. There was probably like 40 I picked up.
Most of those were Tom Vizard, but
Oh
Yeah.
man.
oh crap. But yeah, I leave my deodorant by the fridge because I walk into the kitchen, I see it, boom, just apply some whenever I need it.
Gunnar,
Because sometimes
remember,
I forget.
There was a while there where your apartment was so filthy. It was during the school year, but you actually were kind of like encouraging it because it got to the point where it's like, well, might as well just get a little bit worse. And I think we were pregame, and I brought over like Bud Light bottles, So
Yeah.
So like whenever I'd pop a new bottle, like I would like set it on the counter, and you're like, hey, no, and you take the cap and throw it on the ground.
Just to see, how do I want to say this? Just be engulfed, like cherish the mess. Like you are the mess now. And just if you add to it, it builds character. That apartment had character is how I would describe it. But yeah, then I finally cleaned it. I remember that. That was funny.
Sucked too about cleaning that thing.
What?
Getting all the canola out of there and moving it. That sucked that one day we spent doing that. That was
Oh, Jeff, I was gonna bitch about you. I went through the apartment again and I literally re-cleaned everything that you cleaned.
Really?
Your bathroom was disgusting.
Well, I gave him my best shot, I guess.
I asked you nicely to like dust off the cabinets and you did half of them. So I went through everything that you did. It was extra work, but it was worth it because I think I'm going to get my deposit back. So
fair enough, but I did clean the potatoes.
You cleaned the potatoes and you helped me move the canola. That's all a man can ask for.
Yeah. Jared, you didn't do anything, so
Yeah, screw you. And you were probably in there just as much as JP.
I probably was.
I helped you guys clean your apartment out.
You did.
Did you though? Really?
Well,
you kind of just got the free stuff that we were trying to throw away.
Yeah, Eric was throwing away like bags of chips, and he gave me a sound bar and all kinds of good stuff. Good day.
Eric gave me a lot of stuff too. I have a TV stand from move out day.
Hell yeah.
Huh.
Oh hey,
man.
You know what we haven't played in a while?
What's that?
Whose life would you rather have?
What do you got?
I have 3. I don't know how good they are, but I think we should play.
I have one really good one.
Okay.
And it's only for you, Jared.
Game on.
Okay. This first one is the most probably a hilariously random one. Don't ask me how I thought of it. And I don't even know how good it is, but here it goes. Would you rather be Zlatan?
Yep.
Soccer player. Jeff, you want to get what's his real name?
Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Ibrahimovic. Sorry.
Ibrahimovic.
Can you get in here?
Okay. Zlatan or Ed Helms?
Hey, hold on a sec. We got our first caller.
Okay, we'll go back to it.
Oh, God, Jeff. Do you know how to answer?
This is taking the over. Thank you for calling. Who is this calling?
What's going on, boys? It's Neil.
Neil, what's going on, kid?
Wow. Dark horse.
Not a whole lot. Not to eat here in Ankeny.
That a boy. What do you got for us today, buddy?
Have you done 3 Angry Men yet?
We're just in the middle of it. You got something? What's making you angry, Neil?
All right. What's making me angry is the name of your segment. I think it should be called 2 Angry Men and 1 Angry Boy because, Jared.
Well, I know I agree with you because Jared bitches more than a man should, and so he should be demoted to boy. 2 Angry Men and a boy.
He should.
I love that people calling just to roast Jared. That's like the best thing about this.
Yeah, that should be its own separate segment itself.
Jared, do you have a comment on that?
I don't. At least he kind of likes the name. He likes the premise of the idea of the name.
Right. He likes the idea. That's fair.
All right.
Neil, where are you eating in Ankeny?
At District 36, some fancy schmancy restaurant.
Oh,
Nice.
fancy. That a boy. Well, hey, man.
Yeah.
Neil, I do have written down. You gave me a call or like a viewer listener recommendation for shit that pisses you off, and it was people that use the word literally all the time.
Literally.
You want to explain?
Oh yeah, that one bugs me. I got 2 things that bug me real quick though. Number 1, people who slam on their brakes at a yellow light at the same moment that you're trying to hammer down,
Yeah.
like right in front of you, because you're like, oh, I'm gonna get this, and they're slamming on their brakes. You're like, shit, I gotta slam on my brakes twice as hard.
Well, and you're the person that should be slamming on the brakes. Like, they're ahead of you. They should obviously be going.
Exactly. It shouldn't drive like goddamn grandma.
Exactly.
I could agree.
Number 2, we're upon football season now, college football season that is, and I bitch about this pretty much every single year, but the SEC does not play 9 conference games. The Big 10 does, the Big 12 does, so it's going to be the same thing as what happens every single year. You're going to get down to the end of the year, and, Bama and LSU are going to be playing Florida International School, the Deaf Blind, like the second to last game of the year. Then they do the Iron Bowl, so everyone just glances over that second to last game, but the Iron Bowl is so important, so it's basically a tune-up game before the last game of the year, before bowl season, which I think is total bullshit.
Neil, are you a big against the SEC kind of guy?
Huge.
Thank you, because I am too. I'm very, very against the SEC. Absolutely.
Huge.
Yeah, and I don't know. My thing with the SEC is they always think it's every year automatically the SEC champions in. There's no other conference where it's automatic every single year either, and that annoys me.
Right. But my big thing is, I don't care whether the SEC or the Big 10 or the Big 12, if any of them is better than each other, but they all need to be on the same playing field, which means they should all play the same amount of conference games. And we shouldn't have a situation where Bama's playing, it was Middle Tennessee State in week 11 or 12 last year or 2 years ago. I don't know.
No, I 100%
That really
agree.
bugs me. The other thing that bugs me is there are non-conference games, even at the beginning of the year. They're total jokes too. You know what the last time that Florida played a non-conference game out of state was?
When's that?
1991.
Really?
With as much
I think
shit
we all
as,
remember that game.
yeah, I was there. with as much shit as Colin Cowherd gives the rest of the country, he doesn't. Does he bash on that? I don't know. I don't really watch him that much. I just see his clips.
Yeah, I don't pay attention to that worm. He's kind of a douche.
Yeah, he definitely is.
Better than Skip.
Well, they both just try to say like big buzzword things that try to capture people's attention without any data to back it up.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you, man. Absolutely agree with you. Well, hey, man, thanks for calling in. Enjoy the rest of your meal, and we will talk to you next week, maybe.
Hey, you betcha.
Thanks, buddy. See ya.
Bye.
That was good calling. I didn't realize he was that that educated about that stuff, Jared.
He didn't think Neil was educated.
No, I'm saying I didn't know he was like that educated on like the actual like statistics of sports stuff. I didn't realize he was that into it. I didn't know that, but he's good.
He's a big football fan. Yeah, I get what he's saying because it's usually they schedule those cupcake games right before their big game at the end of the year. Like right before rivalry week. So it's right before the Iron Bowl. It's right before the Egg Bowl or whatever.
No, that's kind of BS.
Yeah, and I'll kind of counter his point about those early regular season like non-conference games. I think there are some SEC teams that schedule some absolutely loaded ones. I mean,
LSU usually plays a tough school.
LSU played Wisconsin a couple years ago, and Wisconsin actually beat them that year. And then, like this year, okay, they're not as good. Well, okay, even last year, nobody knew Florida State was going to be bad last year, though. And
they lost their starting quarterback.
Exactly.
Alabama played USC, didn't they?
Yeah, they did a couple years ago. And Alabama played Florida State last year. They're not that good this year, but they scheduled Louisville. I know Lamar Jackson's gone, but it's not like they're playing.
Well, you
Mercer.
can't. But you schedule those games 3 or 4 years in advance.
Exactly.
Like you don't know.
Right. And I'd agree with you, Jeff. I don't know if it's really a trend by conference. I think it's just the school by school instance of it's based on the athletic director and their kind of philosophy. I don't know if there's a general trend of the Big Ten plays harder, out of conference games versus the SEC. I think it's a school by school issue.
Yeah, because I mean, even in the Big Ten too. I know like Neil went to Iowa, so he's a big Iowa guy, but other than Iowa State, Iowa never really schedules like. A first, the best team they do is like maybe a Pittsburgh or like an Arizona, which I think is good, but usually it's like, okay, we're going to play North Dakota State and North Texas every year, or Northern Illinois. Exactly. But then again, you have Ohio State who they play, Ohio State's playing Oklahoma the last 2 years.
Yep.
And, Michigan State played Oregon a couple years ago, and you have Michigan playing Notre Dame this year.
LSU.
Wisconsin. So, I mean, it is a school by school case, I think. But
what's the big week 1 matchup this year? What do we got, Jeff? On the slate?
I think the biggest one, it's either Michigan, Notre Dame, or Clemson versus Washington. I think Clemson, Washington.
Auburn, Washington.
Or Auburn, Washington, excuse me. Auburn, Washington will be a huge game.
think that's a huge one, especially for Washington.
And I think it's week 2, but it's Clemson plays Texas A&M, I'm pretty sure. That's a big game too, I think. Yeah, Texas A&M's not good, but they have Jimbo now. So, I mean, it's good, It's good for football.
That Auburn, Auburn's quarterback, is that Jared Stidham guy?
Yep.
Versus Jake Browning or whatever.
4-year starter, yeah.
That'll be a really good. That's some good quarterback play actually.
Well, the thing is too is if Washington wins that game, then it's like okay, they're college football playoff or bust for sure.
They're probably they should go undefeated.
Well, so like Auburn can afford to lose that game because they play in the SEC, which is media bias. Like they could win a lot of games in the SEC. I feel like if Washington has that one loss, I think it hurts them to lose that game more than it hurts Auburn.
Absolutely. And like I think it would maybe help them to say Auburn went undefeated, won the SEC next year, and then to say Washington lost by like a field goal. That would help. But otherwise, I mean, it's kind of.
Is Jared Stidham the best quarterback in the SEC?
No, Mississippi State. What's
Nick
his
Fitzgerald?
name? Fitzgerald's probably the best.
I'm gonna say Jake
he's
Fromm.
Still there?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he'll be. I'm gonna say Jake Fromm from Georgia. I think he's gonna be a beast.
Okay, no, Fromm will be good. Yeah, that's a good point.
And I know that team was a lot more loaded last year. They lost a lot on defense this year, but I mean, as a true freshman, you go to the national championship. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Is Alabama not Hurts? What that other guy's name?
Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah, is he going to start over Hurts? Is Hurts going to
See,
play a position?
Here's my thing with that whole quarterback battle thing. I think Jalen Hurts is getting totally screwed big time.
He wasn't that good. He's not good.
People don't realize. So I actually looked into this pretty in depth a couple days ago. So Tagovailoa started a half of a game, which to his credit, he played very well in that half of a game.
Right, didn't start, but
Jalen Hurts has lost one game in his career. He's lost one game in his career. He had 17 touchdowns, I think 1 interception last year. He does not turn the ball over at all. Like his quarterback rating, Jared, is phenomenal. And his freshman year, he was the SEC Offensive Player of the Year his freshman year. So people act like Jalen Hurts isn't good. He was the best offensive player in the SEC his freshman year. So I think Jalen Hurts is getting totally screwed. And if Jalen Hurts is go to another school, I think he would start instantly at another school.
Yeah, I think it was kind of a what have you done for me lately? And Jalen was kind of going through a little bit of a slump. And I think people forget about how good he was. And look at his recent stats. And yeah, he was definitely struggling that first half and a little bit in the SEC title game. So
here's my thing. You lose your job, you got to earn it back. And the people can say Jalen Hurts all day long, but at the end of the day, it's Nick Saban who gets to choose, and he gets to see those guys every day. If he thinks Tua is better, then yeah, I'm going to go with Nick Saban.
Oh yeah, and
I mean, you lose your job, you got to earn it back.
Yeah,
and I mean, so far he hasn't been able to prove it yet because obviously they haven't been playing. Yeah. It's just practice, but
yeah,
Tua played. He showed up and he played.
Yeah, my whole thing is there should absolutely be a quarterback battle because I mean, like even Ohio State the year ago, I mean they had 3 quarterbacks that were extremely good, and the best guy that won the competition.
Fromm's not guaranteed his job right now.
No, he's not.
Kelly Bryant's not at Clemson's not guaranteed his job.
I don't think Kelly Bryant will start all season next year because they have that Trevor Lawrence guy who was like 5-star recruit, and Georgia got the other 5-star recruit. That's the thing with those schools; like they are set up for success so far in the future too. It's insane.
You're saying Jake Fromm isn't the starter for sure?
I think he's got to be.
Not for sure. I know there's a quarterback. Well, because he was injured, he got hurt.
They brought in the number 1 dual threat. His name's Justin Fields, and he was a 5-star. And then the other 5-star quarterback was Trevor Lawrence, who went to Clemson. So I mean,
Jeff, you never know what those guys. Remember that Auburn? What was it like, Jeremy Johnson or whatever? That quarterback.
Yes,
that guy was like the number 1 overall quarterback, and he was terrible.
Well, that's the thing too. I mean, Jimmy Clausen was the number 1 overall quarterback, and look how he turned out.
Who are those 2 Texas A&M 5-star recruits? A couple years ago,
Kyler Murray. But he's at Oklahoma now, and that's if he doesn't play baseball. I didn't realize he's getting paid that much money.
Yeah,
him and then
Kenny Hill,
which
I mean, he ended up being okay for TCU.
Yeah, he turned.
But he's not a 5-star.
Jared, what do you think Jalen Hurts' quarterback rating is his 2 years of college?
I bet it's 150.
144.3.
That's a pretty good guess.
He has 61 career touchdowns. He had 36 touchdowns his freshman year, 13 rushing and 23 passing. So I mean, if he can pull that around and if he can figure that out, he's good, I think. So I don't know. It'd be a good college football season for sure. I'll be curious to see what happens, but
what's your opinion on whoever it was, I can't think, saying that Nate Stanley could be the best quarterback in college?
Jared, did you hear that?
Hilarious.
Did you hear that, Jared?
Yeah, that's hilarious. There's no who says that?
Who did say that to you?
No, it was it Cowherd or it was one of those guys?
Cowherd would never say anything good about Iowa.
He said, I think he prefaced it by saying, "I know I haven't said much good things about Iowa."
Oh, really?
Yeah, really.
It was one of those.
He might have the best stat line. Guy, look up Nate Stanley right now. I know he had a great stat line, but he's not. No.
I'll say this much. If Stanley keeps doing what he did, he'll be a 1st or 2nd round draft pick though in a couple of years, probably. He'll be good for sure. Yeah, his freshman year he had 26 touchdowns and 6 picks. That's pretty good.
Well, he hit the tight end for about half of the touchdowns.
I'm sorry, but he's not doing anything special. He's doing
He's running the Brian Ferentz offense.
Yeah, he does a fake handoff bootleg right, and he hits a tight end crossing over the middle.
For 4 yards.
I'm sorry, I'm not impressed with him at all. Yeah. Granted, I've probably watched him play 4 games, and Hawk fans are probably going to roast me. But no, he's not great.
Yeah, I think he'll get a shot in the NFL someday for sure. I think, but yeah, it's interesting for sure. So,
Jared, did you want to do whose life would you rather have?
Yeah, let's finish that one. I think I barely got it in right before Neil called, but I said Zlatan or Ed Helms, Andy off of The Office.
How good is Zlatan? I'm not a soccer guy.
Well, he used to be really good when he played in the Premier League, and then he got old and he came over to America, and now he's the best soccer player in the U.S.
He's kind of an icon now.
He's a huge icon right now.
Where's he from?
Sweden.
Okay.
I'm definitely saying him. He's got so much more money, I bet. Well,
Ed Helms, though, I mean, he's in some movies.
Dude, he was in the Hangover franchise, the trilogy.
Yeah.
And he was in all of The Office, man. Like, that guy's got some cash, I'm sure.
What's the one? No, he wasn't in We're the Millers, was he?
He was the guy. That guy kind of looks like Ed Helms, but no, that's not him.
That's Jason Sudeikis. Yeah, you're
I
right.
think
Yeah.
I think I would be Zlatan.
I think I'll go Zlatan as well.
Because
that notorious play of him headbutting the guy in the chest is like, that'll go down in history, in infamy.
Okay, fair enough.
Jeff, Zlatan?
See, I don't know that much about soccer, but I'll say Zlatan too. I'd say Zlatan probably. Jared, what else you got for us?
Okay. Leonardo DiCaprio or Aaron Rodgers?
Wow.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Oh man, because they're both extremely good-looking guys. They're both the best at basically what they do.
I love
Yeah.
Rodgers, but he doesn't have a good relationship with his family. He
Fair.
doesn't have
Right.
any kids right now. Everyone sees him as a prick.
Would you want to date Danica Patrick?
I mean, I would.
I would.
Jared thought that was so funny.
I like.
Dude, I'm taking Aaron Rodgers. Honestly,
I think I go Aaron Rodgers too.
Has Leo? He hasn't won an Oscar yet.
he did.
Yeah.
He finally did. Okay,
Yeah, he did.
What was that movie where he gets attacked by the bear?
The Revenant.
Yeah, the Bear movie.
The Revenant.
The Revenant.
Yeah.
Revenant. Yeah. I think I go Aaron Rodgers too, just because Leonardo DiCaprio, like, he's big into the global warming thing, which I'm a believer in global warming. Don't get me wrong, but
He should
that guy,
be.
it seems like it seems like he's just way too upset about it. That, like, I don't think I could, like. I feel like that guy doesn't enjoy anything in life because he's just always thinking about penguins choking on plastic straws and stuff.
Where
you know?
and Rodgers is just slinging footballs.
Right, just slinging footballs and
Yep. Yeah, I agree. I was going to go Rodgers no matter what.
right.
Oh, here we have
All right,
we have Colin
we have Coward.
Cowherd's clip
Yeah,
on
we're
Nate
gonna
Stanley.
play it right now.
I bet this audio is going to be great.
Play it there.
Second. Are you ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Who has the best quarterback, maybe in the country. Watch that kid be a top 10 quarterback, Stanley. Iowa, who has the best quarterback, maybe in the country. Watch that kid be a top 10 quarterback, Stanley.
So that was just a short Instagram clip. So it is quoted. Colin Cowherd did say that.
I'm sorry. I don't know. Dude, how much tape has he really watched on Stanley? What does he really know? I'm sorry. He's got other people just whispering in his ear, and he's just trying to say that to get people riled up.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I mean, he made all his Iowa people mad. Maybe he's trying to save face a little bit. I don't know. I actually do think Stanley could be an NFL quarterback someday, though. Compared to what they've had in the past, he's the best pocket passer they've had of all of them, easily.
Since my boy Drew Tate.
You know what? I'm going to say this now. Talking Iowa football, I know at this point I'm never going to get him on this podcast anymore. I tried so hard, and I reached out to DJ K so many times trying to get him to podcast with me for 30 minutes. And for some reason, God just intended it not to happen. Literally, he texted me when I was going to work. He's like, "Hey, man," he's like, "I'm ready for the call." He's like, "We can do it now." And it was like 9:15 when I was going to work, like 2 nights ago. So I just don't think it was meant to be, Jer. I don't think it was meant to be.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
So, well.
Sorry, man.
Yeah, I hear you.
Reach out to Dallas Clark.
Yes, I reached out to Dallas Clark too, and I talked to his wife actually. And then I don't know. Maybe he just doesn't like me either. I don't know what's going on, but I kept hammering it. But I guess
Well, I mean,
we'll
if
see
he
what
got to know you.
Because you're a Nebraska fan.
Ooh,
If they got to know you.
yeah. Jared, who do you think I should have on this? Like, if you could think of one person that is reasonable that I could maybe actually interview for this, who do you think it would be? Or like someone interesting to you?
I don't know, man.
Wow, great answer.
Yeah.
Oh
Thanks.
God! How am I supposed to think of that in the matter of the 3 seconds that it took Jeff to ask the question? I'm supposed to think of an awesome celebrity, a C-list celebrity that Jeff could actually get on the podcast. I'm sorry, that's a tall order.
Yeah.
Pat Angerer.
Pat Anger. See, even Derek came up with one quicker than you did, you bum.
Even Derek, what's that supposed to mean?
Half a man and even there.
Half a man, and he figured it out. This is kind of a weird podcast.
Wait,
today.
hey, okay. I have a whose life would you rather have, and it's just for Jared.
Okay.
This is going to be interesting, and you have to give us an answer, okay?
Oh my God.
All right. Would you rather have my life, Jeff's life, or Derek's life?
Oh wow. Okay. Well, looks wise, I hate to break it to you, but Derek is
You gotta
probably
go
takes the
Derek.
cake. Yeah, Derek. The physique, the tan, the
The
everything.
normal hairline.
The normal hairline. Career-wise, you're probably looking Jeff right now. Jeff has got a pretty decent job. Plus, I get the podcast if I'm Jeff.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Fair.
The sole
Gunner, what
owner
do you
of
got
21st.
going? Gunner, you got an awesome personality. You're always the funny guy. You're the life of the party.
Okay.
So
But I mean,
probably
that's
your-
pretty much done now since you're out of college. Like, is that really? Does that really bring anything to the table now?
Yeah.
Okay, see you, boys.
I hate to do this, but I'll probably go Derek.
No!
Derek doesn't even have a job.
And I'm a
I
half
know
a man.
Derek is unemployed and is searching for his calling in life, and but I think I'll still go Derek. It'd be tough. Have you seen his pecs before though?
Yeah, they're nothing special.
Yeah, I felt them once.
Yeah, they are special. I'll go Derek. I like that question though. Gunner.
Okay, thanks. No, that's fair. I can't be mad about it.
I think Derek's gonna turn things around here. So once you get things turned around and he's get his career on track, then Derek's gonna have it all.
I hear you.
He's got a hot girlfriend,
Brand new car.
got the pecs, got the career. He's and the hair.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go Derek.
All right. Good answer.
Man, it sounds like we need to reevaluate our lives.
Yeah, it sounds like I was the lowest.
Yeah, I think you actually were Gunner.
I don't know.
Because if I was Jeff, like I said, I get to be CEO and founder of 21st Finance. So.
Right. Right. Oh wow, Jeff, do you got anything?
Yeah,
I have one more whose life is it anyways.
All right.
Colin Kaepernick or Derek Rose.
Derek Rose.
Yeah, are we negating all of the anthem social issues, Kaepernick stuff?
No, I don't think
Are we
should.
Are we just doing straight on field success?
Yeah, but you get it all. But I think Derek Rose kind of has a negative stigma to him too about not wanting to recruit players or play with other superstars. So I don't think he's that well liked.
He won the NBA MVP.
Youngest.
Yeah.
We know that.
Kaepernick. People forget though, those 2 years he had with Harbaugh, he was really, really good. The 49ers were really good.
I don't think he was that good of a quarterback.
Well, as a Packer fan, you can say that when he ran your asses
true.
over for
That's
200
true.
yards. You're just bitter.
Kaepernick definitely did have one.
No,
of the
that's
best.
why I'm super bitter. I would never choose Kaepernick because of that game.
Dude, he was so close to winning that Super Bowl too. After those lights came back on or whatever, they pretty much ran the game after that.
It's just because Ray Lewis had Jesus on his side. That's why the Ravens won that game.
Ray Lewis should have never played. He murdered a person, for Christ's sake. And they
Okay,
never.
all I'm looking for is an answer from you guys here.
I'm going Derek.
I'm
Rose.
going
He's still
Derek
getting
Rose.
paid off shoes.
That's true.
What do you say?
He's still getting paid off shoes.
D Rose is. Oh man, because D Rose also almost won the national championship with Memphis. I'll say D Rose too.
I'm going Cap. I would rather
Okay,
go
well,
Cap.
you don't have a job, so have fun.
Yeah, well, I'm fighting social injustice. So
Okay.
what are you doing?
Yeah. Fair
Yeah, you're
enough.
doing a lot.
Speaking of
How can no, sorry, but how can you do that, the whole social injustice thing, and then not even vote? Okay, that ticks me off.
He didn't vote.
No, he didn't vote.
Yikes! That's a bad look.
Yeah, that was a bad look for him.
Yikes. Okay.
Did you guys see Ray Lewis's Hall of Fame speech?
I did not.
No, I could care less about that piece of
Did you
garbage.
see how long it was?
Was it pretty long? I heard it was. I heard it was emotional or something.
Oh well, yeah. Obviously, it was going to be emotional. He was all. They said it was a couple minutes shorter than the record, which is Brett Favre. Brett Favre has the record.
That's my boy.
Yeah.
Ray, I don't know. I've had enough of Ray Lewis. I hope he just fades to not being relevant anymore.
I'm pretty sure I remember that Super Bowl when he won. I tweeted out, which I'm not a big tweeter, which is kind of weird that I tweeted, but I said, Ray Lewis now has the same amount of homicides as suicide or homicides as Super Bowl rings. Yeah, nice.
Good
Yeah.
one.
What did
You guys are just
That probably got 8 likes?
yeah. Back in 2013, that's not a bad tweet.
No, hey, no, you're right.
the bad
there.
thing about that tweet, Jer, is he has 2 Super Bowl rings. So
That's what I said, and he has 2 homicides.
Oh, he
It was
killed
a
2
double-
people. Oh,
It was a double murder.
what a
Wow.
piece of trash. Basically, any guy that's ever involved with the Baltimore Ravens is a piece of trash, simply put. But whatever. Jared, how do you think the Rams are going to be this year? Like an unbiased, like actual opinion of them.
Unbiased, I think they're an 11-5 team. I think they win the NFC West again.
Okay.
You guys should take the West easy.
Yeah, people are big on the 49ers.
They're not that good yet. You give them 1 or 2 years.
I just think it'd be so funny if next year somehow the Cardinals won the division. Like the one team that's everybody's like, oh, they're going to be terrible. It'd be funny. But, Jared, do you have anything else for us?
So, did we bring this up? No, we didn't bring this up. So I'm going to steal this from the Dan Patrick Show, like I do some of our ideas. But if you were to bet a week's pay, and Derek, I know you don't get much here but on a team to not make the playoffs, which team are you betting on
next year?
This coming year, what NFL team are you like that certain will not make the playoffs?
I hate to do this, Hef, but the Miami Dolphins will not make the playoffs next year.
Well, neither will the Jets.
I think the Jets. Yeah, the Jets have more. Go ahead.
I think the Jets. I feel like the Jets is a more certain than like the Browns even.
I think the Buccaneers might be up
there. Yeah, the Bucks.
The Bucks have got to be up there too. I would go Jets and then Bucks. That's my answer.
Oh yeah, the Buccaneers are a good one too. Yeah, that's a bad one. I seriously like. I think the Jets are going to be a little bit better than people think. I think they'll win maybe. And I actually might have predicted it wrong. In my
Redskins will not make the playoffs.
No, not at all. No, not at all.
Why not?
The NFC's too loaded.
Especially the East. Like Cowboys are going to be good. Eagles are going to be very good.
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking playoff teams, yeah, honestly, the NFC is so much more loaded. And I mean, yeah, there's no room for like the Redskins. There's no room for a lot of those, like the Buccaneers. Sorry, the Buccaneers are going to win maybe 3 games next year.
Here's one question, Jeff. You know NFL rosters better than anyone.
Did you really need ice?
Yeah, sorry, guys.
Jesus, what'd you say, Jared?
You know NFL rosters way better than anyone I know. Can you name 1 or 2 Buffalo Bills wide receivers?
Kelvin Benjamin, he's still there, isn't he?
Yep.
Kelvin Benjamin, and then
Zay.
Yeah, what's his name? Zay Jones or whatever. Yeah. You see Kelvin Benjamin was like ripping on Cam Newton too.
Cam Newton, yeah, said he wasn't that good.
Yeah, which
I mean
enough of the ice.
Derek, do you really need ice?
All right, anyways, what were you saying, Jared?
He's being a little rambunctious with the ice.
He's being Eric right now.
Yeah, you'll have that. No, man, I feel like we're kind of rambling. So
yeah, no. Last thing though, can you guys kind of agree? This was kind of like a weird podcast today. It was just kind of different,
Well, I'll be honest. I'm the only one that actually has a damn script here. You guys just freaking come in and freelance it.
Well, sorry, I've been freaking working the graveyard and I don't sleep at all. I'm ZJP, right?
Also, your computer dying didn't really help the flow of this damn podcast either.
But Jared, what do you want me to bring to the table?
I don't know. How about you bring some more stuff that pisses me off? Pisses you off. I bring.
Not a lot pisses me off though. Like I'm a pretty easygoing guy.
You know what pissed me off about you, Jared?
Oh,
what?
You're never satisfied. You're never satisfied about anything. You're always so unsatisfied. Just live in the moment, man.
You're the one that's complaining about this podcast. How you don't think it was that great?
I'm just making a point. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying we weren't really flowing that well today. But I think the best thing we do when our podcast is when we just freak out on each other, though. That's when people laugh.
Hey, at least someone called in, though.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap this up, Jeff.
All right, let's wrap this up. Jared, last thoughts of the day?
I will try to do better next time.
I agree. Gunnar, last thoughts of the day?
We are 23 days away from college football.
Yeah, can't wait. I think I'm excited for Iowa State football this year. It's
22.
It's going to be a good season for sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped.
All right, Jared. Well, either way, thanks for calling in. We'll talk to you next week, buddy.
Yeah, whatever.
All right,
Hey,
boys.
man. Hey, dog.